The Steelers are now 3-0 after beating the Falcons in Week 1, Broncos in Week 2, and most recently, the LA Chargers in Week 3. How did they get here? 1. Their defense has been outstanding. They're second in the NFL in PFF grade at 80.3. But another reason is the absolute transformation of Justin Fields' play style. Now, what do I mean? When you think of Justin Fields, you think of a guy who takes too long in the pocket to throw the ball, is very indecisive, doesn't really use his eyes to deceive defenders when he's trying to throw the ball, doesn't throw over the middle, only throws deep on the outside and the outside in general, doesn't really throw the check down, and just a guy that likes to run the ball as well. What if I told you that he is doing almost none of that this year? Sure, he's still running the ball. He had 14 attempts in Week 1 and a good amount in the other 2 games, even a rushing touchdown last game. But he's not doing it to the same effect where he relies on the run rather than goes to it if he needs to. He also has the lowest average time to throw in his career at 2.73 seconds, which is in the 68th percentile. The other years were in the 98th, 98th, and 79th percentile for Justin Fields. Why is this? Well, Arthur Smith has made it very easy for Justin Fields to play quarterback. What has he done? He's calling plays designed for him to get the ball out quickly. Easy plays, allowing pass catchers to make plays downfield. Specifically, like swing routes to Cordell Patterson or Harris or Warren, really any running back. Quick out routes to the outside, obviously, that he wasn't really throwing before. If you look at his passing charts, every year except for one, he was below average on short outside routes, but almost always above average on deep outside routes. But the short ones, like say it's 3rd and 5, you just need a quick first down, you throw 4 yards to the outside, receiver catches it, reaches the ball over, breaks tackle, and gets the first down. He was not good at that. This year so far, he's throwing it with anticipation and accuracy, and also using his arm strength that he's always had to fit it into that tight window where the defender can be right there. I'm thinking of one specific play in this Chargers game, but it's something that we haven't really seen from Fields before. He's also fitting the ball into tight windows over the middle. I will watch a couple plays in just a little bit where he does so and tell you why he did this. It actually looks like Fields is reading the field, something that we're not really used to. He's always been like a one-read guy, not really great at getting to his 2nd, 3rd, maybe 4th reads, but now he is. It's as simple as that. He's looking down the field. He's looking at all of his options, whether it's Pickens first, then Calvin Austin, or Freiermuth, or Darnell Washington. You get my point. He's actually reading the field and trying to decipher the defense, rather than just sticking to the one read and committing a turnover, or a bad pass, or airmailing it, or whatever. Another thing for Fields is that he has the best pass blocking offensive line in his career according to PFF grade at 68.2. Now, it's not great, but it's the first time it's been within the top half of the league, basically his entire career. One time the Bears were 16th, but now they're 14th in the league. Now, they're not great at pass blocking, but it's definitely a decent pass blocking offensive line. They're a lot better run blocking. But something about Fields that really has changed is definitely the throws over the middle. Why is that? He's been one of the worst 10 to 20 plus yard throwers over the middle in the NFL. I will show you the passing charts right now on the screen. He has not been efficient once when throwing deep or intermediate over the middle of the field. Now, it's very confusing as to why this is. 19 of his 30 career interceptions with the Bears were over the middle. He's afraid to do that because he's afraid of the safeties over the top. Sometimes he would just completely get lost with defenders, not know where they are, and just throw it and immediately there's a jump cut. He's not expecting some defenders to make a play on the ball. He has too much confidence in his arm at times when it's regarding throwing balls deep over the middle. But now he's confident with his arm in other ways, like those short out routes, though. Now the over the middle throws into tight windows. I think it's really just a coaching change and honestly, just a new culture he's in, because in Chicago, he's constantly scrutinized and there was nothing really for Fields to do in Chicago. He never had that opportunity and people are like, oh, well, maybe the Bears should have kept him. I mean, he still wouldn't have been great. Their offensive line is terrible. Look at Caleb Williams. He has to run around like Fields did willingly the past 3 years because the offensive line is just so bad. But another thing is that there's other statistics to prove that Justin has improved a lot over this past year. His average yards per attempt, air yards, I should say, is 5.6, the lowest of his career. What does this suggest? He's actually looking for the check down now, when before he never did. There were years where he was in the bottom 10 of check down percentage. He's also taking a lot less sacks. This year, he's at 7.4% sack rate, which is in the 41st percentile. The other 3 seasons were all above 10%. One of them was at 14%, and his average time to throw is a lot higher, which you may think, Oh, that could be good, meaning his offensive line is pass blocking for him. No, it's because he's very indecisive with the ball and didn't know where to throw it when. But nowadays, he's very decisive because that is what the play calling is doing with Arthur Smith. Now, this is kind of unexpected given his play calling in Atlanta the past couple of years, but it's led to Justin Fields also having the highest EPA per drop back in his career at 0.6. He also has a career high in offensive success rating during throwing. But what is it with Fields that has changed the most? Let's take a look at 2 plays that show him throwing elite balls over the middle to his receivers. So this is on a touchdown drive. It's the beginning of the drive. It starts off Fields sending Calvin Austin in motion. Now, what does Fields do here? The first thing he does is he's kind of looking at Darnell Washington here at number 80 on the left to just try and get that linebacker out of the way so that he can make the throw to the right side. As soon as he realizes that he's got it, he completely changes direction to the right side. And where's he throwing? To George Pickens. Wide open. There's nothing the defense can do there. Now, yes, that's an open throw, but inside the numbers, there's still a area of weakness for Justin Fields in the past. But it's rifled in there, defender right behind him. I mean, the defender could have made a play. So on this angle, it's the same thing. You know, he's looking at Darnell and then fits it into this window right here. Now, it's a pretty big window, but this defender right here still could make a play technically if he was in better position. But I think that Fields did a great job of getting him out of position. The receiver did as well. It was honestly just a well-designed play by Arthur Smith. Because, I mean, what are you going to do in this situation? I mean, you have 13 right here, and this defender has to commit to him, meaning that he's not going to be covering Pickens. It's a great route concept overall. Congratulations, Arthur Smith. You called a good play. And just easy throw to Pickens over the middle. This is a nod to Arthur Smith and Justin Fields, in all honesty, because who knows with Arthur Smith nowadays, you know? But again, I'm just going to let it replay fully this time. You know, Fields overlooks to Darnell Washington at the snap just to get the defenders to bite. 13 clears out that right side flat defender so he doesn't go for Pickens. Pickens has a wide open catch. Simple as that. Good play, Justin Fields. Good play, Arthur Smith. And then we have this touchdown throw to Calvin Austin. Yes, most of this was after the catch, but let's look at 1, the route concept here, and 2, Calvin Austin and Justin Fields. So the route concept here is just a simple dig and out. Pickens runs the out, Calvin runs the dig. In the past, Fields is not making this throw. But what does he do on this play? I'll show you at the other angle what Fields does himself to allow this to be more open. You see this safety on the right, the other safety on the left, closer to the 40, well, they're all the 40, closer to the Chargers boundary, and then the safety on the right, closer to the Steelers boundary. You see the one closer to the Chargers boundary going towards Freiermuth in the middle. Now that is a throw that Fields would and could make. Obviously, he's wide open 10 yards downfield. But he knows that by looking off the defender towards Freiermuth, Calvin Austin right here at the bottom is going to get wide open. Let's look at what he does. He fits it into a tight window. When he throws this ball, it's right on the numbers to Calvin Austin. Now, the other angle will show it a lot better. But look at that. There's 2 defenders who could have made if he came up more, could have made a play. This defender could have made a play. But let's wait for the other angle. Obviously, it ends up in a touchdown. We'll skip ahead. All right, so this angle is really where you'll see the movement with Justin Fields' eyes to Pat Freiermuth to bring that first safety down. Look at him right there. He's kind of looking towards where Freiermuth will be going. And then right there, he's looking straight at Freiermuth. Bring this defender down. What does that allow? It allows this ball. Look at this window. This is not an easy window to make a throw into for a lot of quarterbacks. But right when the ball is about to hit Austin, let's see where the defenders are. This guy, if he wasn't dragged down by Fields' eye movement, could have made a play. That defender could have made a play, but probably not. He was also looking to Freiermuth. That is what Fields did on this play. It's also a great concept because it brings a flat defender out to Pickens on the out route. This safety goes down to Freiermuth because someone has to worry about him. I mean, he is wide open, like when his route is done. When his route is done, it's a check down right over the middle. Not a check down, but basically is, I could make that throw. But this defender has to worry about that because Zero's kind of looking towards Najee here. He wants to worry about the flat, whereas this safety has to worry about Freiermuth, who's wide open at the logo. Fields then easily fits it into Calvin Austin, as I've said. It really is just a great over-the-middle throw, inside the numbers throw that we don't get to see often from Justin Fields when he was with Chicago. But now that he's in Pittsburgh, now he didn't throw a single pass over the middle in Atlanta, but that changed versus Denver and in this game. Great throw, and then just catch and run. There was also a couple plays by Justin Fields which were called back to penalty. Like this throw on the outside to Pickens is one of the most insane deep ball throws I've seen to where only Pickens can get it. The defender has legitimately no shot. Justin has really come into his own this season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, leading them to a 3-0 record, and yes, a lot of it has to do with their defense, but Justin Fields has played great in and of himself. One thing he has done is not turn the ball over. He has one turnover, and it came off of, yes, it was a bad decision, but it was a weird tip. Like, it bounced off of, like, the hip or something and bounced up in the air. Calvin Austin tried to catch it off the tip. He didn't, got deflected, intercepted. He should not have made the throw. He addressed that he should not have made the throw. But overall, Fields has looked pretty good for the Pittsburgh Steelers.